This is a double review. I meant to review MNBRT radio the other night, and I neglected to. I apologize. But this is my review of MNBRT radio, which will be followed by my review of Nite radio. MNBRT had Australian Yowie researcher Dean Harrison on, and he talked quite a bit about the experiences he's had down in Australia with the Yowie and some of the sightings he's had. He's had quite a few of them. He describes the Yowie as much more aggressive than our American Sasquatch, and he describes them as having canine teeth, which is unlike our Sasquatch, which has more of the blocky teeth. Our Sasquatch has blocky teeth. The Yowie apparently has the long canine type teeth. But he talked about his experiences with the Yowie, his sightings. He took quite a few questions from the chat room. Took the standard question from Bill Green. I asked him from the chat. I asked him about his opinion of the continued existence of the thylacine, the Tasmanian tiger. He said, "Oh, it's a no-brainer. We know they're here. We know that they're still out there. They still exist." Referring to the thylacine, the Tasmanian tiger. Also, he answered several other questions from several other folks who asked questions from the chat. All in all, it was a pretty great show, and I really enjoyed it. 5 stars as always, eh? Then on Nite Callers last night, the guest was Dave Sidani. He's a researcher from Florida. And he discussed some of the things that he's looked into down there as far as what they call the Sasquatch, or the skunk ape, I should say. The areas that he's looked into, such as the Everglades and places like that. Bill Green actually threw us all for a loop and actually asked him how he thought the oil spill might affect the Sasquatch population and what it might do to increase sightings. And I think the main question that Bill asked was, did it increase the sightings, and was there an increase in sightings? And Dave said he hadn't really noticed really an increase in sightings down in that area. So who knows? I don't know what this would do as far as increase or decrease of sightings. I actually asked from the chat room his opinion on the Autumn Williams book, Enoch, and he said he hadn't read it and he wasn't familiar with the situation. So obviously he doesn't know anything about it. Anyway, MNBRT, from what I understand, is supposed to be coming back. It doesn't look like they've got a show this Friday, but they're supposed to have a show in a couple of weeks. I can't remember who the guest is supposed to be, but they'll have a guest on in a couple of weeks. And that'll be at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, www.blogtalkradio.com/MNBRT. And then Nite Callers next week will, I think it's going to be a rerun, so anyway, I believe it's going to be a rerun. I'm not really 100% certain on that. But it'll start at 7 Eastern, 6 Central next Sunday night. www.blogtalkradio.com/Nite Callers. And as always, we do encourage you to please tune in and support great research.